is the rhythm of change. This is the sound of redemption. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. Igniting the fire within you. Exalting the melody of freedom. These are the things that will bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Down, down, down.
Let me tell you, it's in the air. Joy is in the air. Love is in the air. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Don't sleep on it, brother. You might get left, sister. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Justice. No need to be counted, cause I am down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down for the end of racism, for the end of bigotry, cause I am down. For the end of misogyny, that's right. For all the isms out there, just down, down, down. Let's bring it down. Rise up, people. No more foolishness, and let's bring it way down.
Riding the river of change into the cries of contrition. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. We are the children of Eden, dancing and celebrating freedom. We are the ones that must bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. We've got to bring it down. Down. Stand up and shout. Stand up and shout. Rise together.
Accountability starts now. The Eric Dawson Radio Show.
Yeah. Rise up. Stand up, shout it loud.
If you are not prepared to come to that table and to represent that voice, don't come. Because we don't need any more brown faces that don't want to be a brown voice. We don't need black faces that don't want to be a black voice. We don't need Muslims that don't want to be a Muslim voice. We don't need queers that don't want to be a queer voice. And if you're worried about being marginalized and stereotyped, please don't even show up.
I sent
Hey.
you both the link.
Yeah. Hello, guys. Welcome to day two. Well, day two of the allotted 1 month that we get out of the year.
Happy Black History Month. Do you know how Black History Month was started, Eric?
You know what, Diane? It was started by a black man.
Yes.
Right,
But do you
but-
know why he chose February?
No, but you're gonna tell me. But
I can't stand you.
Why'd he start it, Diane?
He started it because there were two famous birthdays in the second week of February. And those birthdays was Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln.
Okay. Like I said, welcome to the second day of the 1 month that we're allotted, that we're given.
Well, actually, the Douglas's is 12th and Lincoln's. So what they called it was Negro History Week back then.
That's
in
right.
The 1900s.
Exactly. And it was started.
It's also a really famous person's birthday. Giovanni's birthday month.
There we go.
I'm just saying.
So wait a minute. What day is your birthday? Good morning, Deidre. What day is your birthday?
It's on the 24th.
Okay. So check. Wait. Can I tell you guys something very, very strange
Okay.
about
sure.
February? Well, just in general. Because Diane, you know I got a lot of strange things going on in my life.
Yeah.
So you all know that. You know that in September I became fianced, right? So my mother's birthday is February 11th. Amina's birthday is February 12th. My mother's name is Lois Crawford. Amina's name is Amina Lois Crawford. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute.
You're marrying your mother.
So creepy.
I'm sorry.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah. So check it out. I am honestly contemplating hyphenating my name so that I can keep both names of my parents. My dad's
You're gonna
name,
be Dawson Crawford.
I'd be Dawson Crawford. I'm really thinking about that. So that I can encompass all names.
But you don't.
I will tell you
It's the
that
name of it's a slaveholder's name, not really the name.
You know what, Diane? Don't wait a minute. See, now Diane's trying to radicalize me today. Because she knows last night I stayed up until I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. I literally almost put toothpicks in my eyelids. Roots was on.
The new one?
Nope. No. You got to go LeVar Burton Roots.
LeVar Burton, Ben Vereen.
Yes, the new Roots, nah. The original, man, I was getting heated all over again, man. I was up there talking to my flat screens TV, screaming and hollering. I was like, you mother, get your hands off it. His name is Kunta. End of story.
Not to that bullet heading.
Yo, listen, I think, and I wonder, Deidre, have your children seen Roots?
no, they have not. As a matter of fact, I remember back when it first came out on television. Remember, it was like 5 night
Oh, yeah.
thing, and it was a big deal. Like everybody was watching it. Everybody sat home and we were watching it. And I probably couldn't have been more than 10, 11
Three.
years old. When it first came on, and that's when we had like 4 channels or 3 channels.
That's right.
No cable or
Yep.
anything like that.
Listen, we watch it on a 19-inch.
I don't know if I could watch it again. I saw someone on my Facebook feed yesterday talked about something that's some Netflix show that she said she was heated. And when she said that, I said, okay, I'm not watching it because I don't want to be.
Yo, I was in a bad place yesterday.
I'm gonna find the name of it because if you guys have heard of this show, she was like, American Skin. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
I'm not watching it.
See, I'm telling you, Because you know what happens, Deidre? Like when I was watching it, I'm saying to myself, I saw that move. I saw Roots when I was in the seventh grade, right? I think it was seventh grade. And so seventh grade to now, people have had an opportunity to see it. It's been on, the book is out, all that, right? And for any white person to marginalize slavery or the bottom people's experience here, brutal experience here, just infuriates me because they don't want to know. And that's what I was concluding again last night. I was like, they just don't want to know. They don't want to, And so, yeah, I was heated. I texted Diane. I said, I'm texting her like angry faces, angry emojis. Yeah, I was in a bad place. So don't get me radicalized this morning, Diane. Don't do it.
Yeah, but what I was going to say, Eric, on the name thing. So I have a friend. She was pretty interesting caricature, is what I'll call it, and that her husband and her decided when they got married that they would each change their name to a neutral name.
Oh.
And that was how they had agreed that that's how they were going to make their union work, and they did.
So a neutral name meaning neither of them had the name that they ultimately changed their name to?
I think they chose her middle name, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Something like that. It wasn't her last name, and it wasn't his last name, and it wasn't a hyphenated name. It was a name that they agreed on, and I feel like it was her middle name because it was like it wasn't female-ish. You know what I mean?
Right.
Talk about a compromise.
So what do you think, Eric Preston Dawson Crawford?
Still a slave.
Well, I won't argue that, Diane.
I hear you.
COVID.
It's a lot.
That's a lot, right?
It's a lot.
Yeah. Now, when I was younger, my dad was Muslim, and he was in the Nation of Islam, and we all we were all ultimately given names by him. But the process when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, may he rest in peace, was alive was that you had to write a letter to Chicago to request a name, right? And you had to write it with perfect. I'm sorry.
They had to approve your name.
They assigned you a name, but you had to write a letter, a handwritten letter requesting a name, and you had to write it in perfect penmanship because they would reject the letter. They'd send it back, and you'd have to write it again. So it was all a part of discipline. And I got my letter rejected several times because I had horrible, and still do have horrible penmanship. Anyway.
Did you ever learn to type?
Yeah, but you couldn't type it. You had to write it. It had to be it had to be in cursive as well. You see, you know what, Diane? I wasn't even thinking like that when I was younger. I was trying to do the right thing. See, and look at you. You're a bad influence on me.
No, I'm not. I'm just telling you what happens in a cult.
So anyway, they kept rejecting it.
Today, ladies and gentlemen.
And then ultimately, my dad.
How do you know? This is very important. There are so many Muhammads out there. How do you know who is the person that you know? So, like the other day, remember I said, do you know so and so Muhammad? But there are many people with that same exact name. How do you know that's the Muhammad that you know?
Geographical and association.
Eric?
I don't know. Diane, don't make my head hurt. Too much for me to think about. Too much for me to think about this early. Oh.
Because I'm just wondering, like, you move away from the name of the slave name. I understand.
Well, no, I was moving away.
Everybody takes the same. Not everybody, but so many people take the same last name as Muhammad.
Well, because you know why? Because Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was one of the reasons Muhammad was popular.
Yeah. No, I'm
right?
just using it as an example.
Yeah, and then the Prophet Muhammad, right? But may peace be upon him as well. But my dad had given me so when it was all over, right, and all that stuff, all in the writing and everything. My dad. Actually, my brother Rasul was the first one who had the name change in my family, right? So when my brother Rasul was born, they named him Rasul Sharif. It was crazy too because they spelled his name wild. It was Rassoul, right? And then the last name was spelled at that time Sharrief. I was like, yo, give me a vowel.
They, so they wanted to piss off every last teacher.
Yo,
Your
so
brother
then
hated.
they truncated it later to Rasul and Sharif. But my brother changed his name. When my brother was born, he was given a name, and then my father ultimately changed his name, and then my father assigned all of us names. So I could have not had a slave name anymore, Diane. But I chose to keep my name because my grandpa, he and I had a conversation, and just because Preston, I just wasn't gonna give that up. So anyway, my cousin Mark says instead of going Dawson Crawford, why don't I do Crawford Dawson? I don't know.
I always look at kids and men who have double hyphenated names as being people that come from families that are very confused and don't want to pick an identity, and they just throw it out there to please everybody.
Well, wait a minute, but think about this. Puerto Ricans, right? They take on a whole bunch of names, don't they? Like they'll have like 7 names or 12 names, which represent the lineage in their families, right?
No.
Yeah, they do. They do. So,
I know. I'm saying.
so I'm thinking about. So I'm really thinking about that, guys. And so I mean, we haven't set a wedding date, but I haven't from now until then to make a decision. So it would be Eric Preston Dawson Crawford or Eric Preston Crawford Dawson.
That's a whole lot of paperwork to change.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Not birth certificate, but your social security card, your driver's license, your bank information, all of that stuff. It's a lot. It's
All right.
not worth it.
It's not worth it. Done.
Anywho,
I need that Staples button.
Having everybody, show up with their COVID shots for the wedding.
That is one of the delays, Vincent. The fact that we're still working through this COVID thing, and
Eric, that's the delay.
yeah, just trying to get the family. Like Amina's parents just received their COVID shots. They had no side effects, thank goodness, and they're in good health. Her dad is like
we're gonna talk about that in the COVID shot in a minute.
Yeah, her dad is like 88 years old. So, they want to, he wants to walk her down the aisle and, want to have this big kind of thing. So we want everybody to be safe. So we're trying to figure it out.
So everybody's stuck in the snow and wondering what to do in terms of their future endeavors of wealth.
Well, I could have,
Like
in terms of
wealth.
Vincent, I could have made money today shoveling snow.
You could.
I walked around the corner to the poppy store. Poppy stores, you know what? You could have like 50 inches of snow outside, and the poppy store gonna find a way to be open. They gonna find. I'm telling you,
Somebody want a can of Goya.
they will find a way to be open. And so
Stores are usually run by a family, so the family actually helps.
no, do you think they stayed in the store last night, Diane?
Huh?
They might have slept in the store last night.
They could have. They could have an apartment upstairs.
Right? So no, I'm talking about in the back room in the store, not upstairs. Anyway,
Oh, yeah. They could have did that.
they could have done that too, right?
They rotate. They use family members to help them out. So that's possibly could have happened.
But as I'm walking home,
and she wants to talk about jobs.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to help her save her voice.
Well,
Okay. Well, I was going to say that my son, today they actually canceled school.
why?
My son has a handyman business. And
Well, some of them do sleep in the apartment upstairs.
Okay. Thanks, Vincent.
I think Vincent. Do you have a delay, Vincent?
They canceled school today. So to your point, Eric, my son's out making money.
There we go.
It's 8 o'clock. He's out and about.
Good for him.
Now, wait a minute. Is he shoveling?
And he had 3 jobs yesterday. He came in. He had school yesterday, so he had to wait to finish school. So he started about 1. He didn't get home until about 6.
Now I know he's assembling stuff. Like, explain that, because I think that is awesome.
Yeah, he loves it, and once we kind of figured out he can make money at what we've been having him do forever in our house, put things together. And so he wants to, he's in high school. We were talking about his first job, and this just seemed to make sense with the entrepreneur of myself. Me guiding him, his father guiding him. So he's got a website, he's got an Instagram handle. Handyman Zoe. Check him out.
I love him.
Send it so I can put it out. Hey, Deidre, does he move furniture?
Right now, what he's focusing on, he's going to eventually need to get employees. So right now, he's a sole guy.
Proprietor.
And people have been asking him to do stuff like painting, or like somebody asked him to install a door. And so I think he gets this side of his brain from my father, who's a general contractor out of Philly. So,
okay.
My father's going to come up here and help him learn whatever needs to be learned. And so eventually, I think by next year, he will have a lot more things under his belt. But for right now, it's assembling furniture. And believe it or not, he's been actually very busy. Every weekend, he's got 2 jobs a weekend. So assembling furniture, and he's priced it out, so he's not too expensive. And he does the assemble work, and then he actually had to unassemble something because somebody wanted to throw it out, and I guess they couldn't get it out their door. So he had to unassemble it. They wanted to move it. He had to unassemble it and reassemble it. So he's been good. He takes before and after pictures. So if you go to his Instagram handle, handyman_Zoe, you'll see some before and after photos of he put together 2 girl house. But after Christmas, he was so busy because a lot of people got things that for their kids that they realized they had to be put together. And so he was busy. He put together 2 doll houses for 2 girls right in our town. So he's busy right in our town. He doesn't really have to go outside of our town right now. So it's good. We can keep it close to the vest. But he may have to hire his some employees to help him scale it up a little bit. So I'm super proud of him, and he's really focused. And he starts seeing those dollars come in. I set him up his own Venmo account. So now he starts seeing the dollars come in. Now he already has his debit card, which he's had for probably like 2 years. But now I tied it to his Venmo, so that's how folks pay him if they don't pay him cash. So it's been good. It's been a good little journey.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you. The guys who started 1-800 Got Junk.
His administrative support, his bookkeeper, his appointment maker.
No, she barely want to take out the trash in her bedroom. No.
Yeah.
My daughter's very creative, and so my father-in-law, rest in peace, was really creative, and I think she gets that part of it from him.
Mm-hmm.
He was an artist. He was an educator, but he also was an artist. What do you call it? You could draw. He was a visual artist as well as acting and writing. So he actually wrote a play that was performed at NJ Pack a couple years ago.
Okay.
And so obviously we have all the rights to it. My husband is his only child, and we want to actually put out a children's book. So Dana, my daughter, we think that's going to be her project because she's a creative writer. She's in an NJ Pack program right now for writing. And I think she's going to be putting out a book, and that'll be her hustle.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So listen, before we go on to talk about jobs and stuff, because you glossed over it, and I'm not going to allow you to do that, Deidre.
What I do?
You also posted some amazing news about your son's academic journey.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
See, come on now.
Not only is he gifted, he's smart.
See?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, he's really smart. He's in the Du Bois program, which a couple of my friends' children that were very STEM focused went through the program. And unfortunately, it's not at Princeton on site because of COVID, but he's doing it virtually. He got accepted to the program. It started about 2 weeks ago, and it's once a month. It's all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He's super excited. He's around kids, his age that are in STEM, and it's been a great little journey for him. So he's a super busy guy on Saturdays now because He also is a jazz musician, so he plays trombone in the marching band for the high school, but he also is in the jazz band at the high school. And he's also in NJ Pack's Teams for Jazz program, which is every Saturday. So he has to miss, unfortunately, that one Saturday a month to go to Du Bois. But we feel like we'll make it work. So he also tutors a kid in trombone. He tutors a fifth grader in trombone. So he's really, really busy, and he loves every minute of it.
Perfect.
Yeah, well, tell Slide Viney that, I got a position for him.
Yeah.
Love to make that work.
He wants to be an engineer. He actually wants to be a civil engineer, and that makes my job and his father's job very easy because it allows us to find programs in schools and universities that fit him very early on versus if you were, a lot of kids don't know what they want to do going into college, and he's really focused. And may not be engineering, civil, but he's expressed an interest in it and done a ton of research and thinks that that's the way he wants to go. I have a couple friends that are civil engineers too, so I've been have him in contact with them. So it's been great. So he's only in 10th grade, so we got 2 more years to go.
There you go.
2 more years. There you go.
All right. Hey, man, excellence.
These were family hustles.
Not only is he smart, like he's an honor. He's got 3 honors classes this year. He applied for 3 AP classes next year because that's the track you need to get into the top universities, and so he's on track to be able to achieve that.
Awesome.
Great. We are anticipating and with a great deal of hope for his success.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for letting me shout out my son.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
He's a good kid, and he is like my husband just said, because he just dropped him off, because my husband's the Uber driver, taking him back and forth to jobs. he said he had your work ethic, babe. He gets up, he's got his schedule of where he has to go. He had appointments for shovel in the snow. He's just not knocking on doors. He has scheduled appointments because you could book him through his website.
Yeah.
He's been really focused. He's booked up until tomorrow.
Either does he have his vision board?
You know what? It's funny you should say that. So he doesn't, and I'm gonna have to work on him with that. I still have all the stuff out. I had a wonderful vision board party this weekend, Eric. I don't know if you saw some pictures on Facebook.
Did. They were amazing.
I was really, really giving myself big kudos because I did it 2 years in a row at my home, and I had to limit it because of space, and I wanted it to feel intimate. But this year it wasn't a requirement because we did it virtually. I have a little sister. I'm a big brother's big sister, so I did have her over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a big sister who's just my big sister that I just made her my big sister. I love her to death, Dawn. So they both came over here, and I laid everything out. So that's why my dining room still looks a wreck because I still haven't gotten around to doing my own vision board because I was so busy hosting. But we had over 50 women show up to my vision board party on Saturday. I broke them up into 5 rooms. I cherry picked who was going to be in each room based on me knowing them and the dynamics and comfort level with maybe they knew one other person. I had 2 room leaders in each room that had come to my vision board before because we had a lot of newbies. And I actually also provided vision board kits that everyone came to my house prior to Saturday and picked up, which included magazines, all kinds of supplies, glue, to make their board look special. And so
I hear the big joy was the bracelets.
Oh, and so yes, and the bracelets are intention bracelets. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but I'm a big intention bracelet person. Facebook was probably listening to me as I was thinking through this vision board idea 3 years ago. I actually got coached by a friend of mine, Rudy, who's done vision boards for years, and he coached me, and I kind of follow a lot of what Rudy coached me on, but he's a guy, and so he had co-ed vision board parties. I wanted a woman only one, and I thought of the intention bracelet, which I actually purchased the kit from this website, and then I make the bracelet, or they make the bracelet for themselves, and it has been really, really profound, the words that some of these women come up with. They wear the bracelet all year. It's just another way to visualize what you're working on for yourself in a bracelet. So it's been super fun. And my little sister was over here, and she made passion. And we talked about what that meant and some things that she's passionate about. And so it was really, really good. So it's been fun. Fun journey. So now the women want to get together quarterly. I even assigned accountability partners. Whoever wanted an accountability partner got one, and they had to meet and talk about one goal that they wanted to accomplish this year, and how often that they wanted that person to reach out to them. So it could be something like a weight loss goal. Like women, we always have that one. And so, do you want that person to contact you once a month, once a week, once every other week? What does that look like? And so I did that 2 years ago, went over really, really well. Pretty much everyone except like 3 women wanted an accountability partner. And so we have right now we have 50 women out there with accountability partners, which is awesome. And so they wanted us to get together quarterly so that we can talk about our goals, to collectively, right, and maybe break into rooms again. And they felt that even though I had rave reviews about the 2 years I had it in my home, the women felt it felt even more intimate in these small rooms, these small Zoom rooms of 10 or so women each. They really got a chance to know each other, and I met with each of the room leaders ahead of time and charged them with just a couple things to actually keep the conversation going, to not allow women to get to know each other. So it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Now that you're out of voice, let's talk about jobs.
I know. You guys said I wasn't going to talk much. See, I'm all raspy.
I didn't ask the questions. That's them running their mouth.
I said, see, Diana, ask questions. I have to answer them. That's right. I'm sipping on my tea. It does sound better than it did on Monday and Sunday. Not as bad as it was the last time I lost it. Last time I couldn't talk at all. So today I want to talk about. I know you guys have talked about. This actually segues perfectly into my vision board party, as a matter of fact. SMART goals. And so I know that you guys all know what SMART goals are, right? But we'll go through them again in each letter. But these SMART goals are specific to your job search goals for the new year. Even though it's February and it's Deidre's birthday month, 22 days and counting. As you have SMART goals for your job search, I'm going to go through each one. So specific, right? When you set goals for yourself, you want them to be specific. They can't be vague, because when they're vague, then they can't be another thing, which is achievable, right? So a specific goal might be, I want to get a job making at least $60,000 working in the advertising industry. So you're very, very specific for what you want, so that you're not all over the place. You're not applying at jobs that don't fit exactly what you were looking to accomplish, right?
Right.
Another one, the next letter in SMART is measurable. So you don't want it to be generic, like I want to get a job in 2021. Of course you do, but you want to get really measurable as it relates to job search. I will submit 25 applications or resumes to get a job making $60,000 working in the advertising industry. See how that goes? Now it's measurable, because you can say, when you look up, you can say, have I submitted 25? Maybe the number was too low. Have I submitted 100? And maybe it's a number you say 25 per week.
Right.
That's not too much, right? That's 5 a day. You'd be going Monday to Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to definitely consider something that's measurable, so that you can look up each week and measure. And I'm a visual person just by nature. I'm a visual learner, and I'm also a visual person in terms of I keep things in my car. I keep things, so it's challenging for me to put things in my phone, because I forget to go look there. So if you're visual like me, slap it up somewhere that you can see it on a daily basis. The same thing like a vision board. When you make a vision board, you don't just stick it in a corner and close the door. No, you keep the vision board up at a place that you're going to look at it every single day.
Right.
So make it measurable. And then the A in SMART is achievable. You want to make it achievable. You want to make it something you can accomplish. If you're going to shoot for the stars, if you will, right, to get this particular job, and it's something that's really out of your realm, then you're going to set yourself up for failure and frustration. So here you might say, I want to research the advertising industry and revamp my resume before I'm submitting 25 applications to get a job to make $60,000 working in the advertising industry. Right? So you see how I did that?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to research the advertising industry and revamp my resume before submitting those 25 applications. So you want to make it achievable, something that you feel you can accomplish. If the number is too small, that's fine too, right? You want to just feel like you can accomplish something, and it's not overwhelming. Because what I find, at least for myself, when I make the goal too big, I don't want to do it at all. When I start to feel, we set quarterly and annual goals for my company. And when I set it really, really high, and I find that come September, when I know there's no way I'm going to reach my year-end goal, I feel deflated. I feel like, oh, forget it. I'm not even going to work that hard because I'm not going to get there, right? So don't do that. So make them smaller, measurable, achievable goals that you feel that you can accomplish.
Got it.
And then make them relevant. When you're setting your job search goals, they should always have an objective. The objective, could be salary, right? It could be working in a specific industry. It could be developing your own leadership capabilities. But they should be relevant to the role. So for example, you might say, in order to get hired in, let's say a managerial role, I will research the restaurant industry and revamp my resume before submitting 25 applications to get a job making $75,000 working in the restaurant industry. So you're going to make it relevant to what you're looking to go after. And then the last one is just that, it's time based. If you don't quantify your goals with a time limit, you might never end up achieving them.
Right.
And if you don't set a time limit, you might not, really work hard to achieve it. That's why we set up at the beginning of the year and we make annual goals, because that is an annual goal. Part of my visioning is one of them is talking about your future, and that's fine too as a big goal, a 5-year, 10-year goal. But a time-based goal as it relates to job search is just that. So in order to get hired, I might research the advertising industry and revamp my resume before submitting 25 applications each week to get a job making at least $75,000 in the advertising industry. And so this way, I put down the each week part that made it time based. So that now, if you look up at the end of the week and I've only submitted 20, but I knew my goal was 25, well, guess what? Maybe next week I might push it up to 30, right? To make up for those 5 that I didn't complete. And then that'll put me back on track. So these SMART goals, you can use SMART goals for lots of different things, but they always need to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely.
There we go.
There we go. And as always, Deidre, do you have enough breath or enough voice to let us know what's new and exciting and jobs that are up and coming?
No, I don't, Diane. Okay. So I do have a bunch of jobs. I'm going to post them. Last week we talked about those 3 jobs. I didn't get a chance to put it onto our website. Mm-hmm. Now they're there. Okay. You can check them out and apply, please, because we are very busy, and we still, even in wintertime, which is usually our slow period, we're not slow, which is a good thing.
Oh, then go to her page, pull some down, put it in the link in the feed, because I'm in Facebook jail, so I can't post anything.
Yeah. Diane's she's looking to be bailed out. Diane's looking to be bailed out. Hey, Deidre, you could make Diane one of your rum cakes with a file in it.
Because apparently last Friday when Deidre and I did a video about jobs, and I put in the heading jobs, 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 it must have flagged them to think I'm selling sex. And they took it down and they blocked me. So now I'm appealing and waiting for them to take me out of jail. So I'm on probation right now, I guess.
Well, and also, Deidre, you still have the $50 per referral?
Yes, she does.
We do.
Yes, great. So get those people who've been sleeping on your couch. Get those teenagers who sit there and FaceTime all day. Get them out. call Deidre Viney. Look up. The link will be on the feed, but don't call Deidre because she'll be out of voice.
Right, and the $6 referral fee. I got, as they say, Vince, I got people.
That's right.
If anybody mentions the Eric Dawson show or Diane, the $50 referral fee, I'm donating mine back to Women Rising, which is a nonprofit organization to help women get on their feet. Yeah, and I'm gonna have just enough breath to give my small commercial for Women Rising because I sit on the board. I've been on the board, I think, 5 years. I've lost track. I'm the vice president on the board. And as you all know, when you're on the board, you have a board challenge to raise money. Every year, I've done a paint and sip, and that's gone really, really well. But I'm stepping it up a notch. I'm going in a different direction, I'd say. And I'm doing Comedy for a Cause. It's going to be on April 16th. It's going to be virtual at anywhere you want it to be. I'm in the process. Eric, you might even be able to help me with this, or any of your listeners. I'm in the process of trying to connect with some restaurants, some local restaurants. Those guys have been, this pandemic has been really hit them really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to connect with some restaurants so that you'll be able to order your food and have it delivered prior to the 8 o'clock show, which is a Friday. Friday is April 16th. So I'm working with a wonderful, wonderful comedian, Asia, and I don't know if she's listening, but she actually connected me. My husband and I listened to same concept beginning of December for a friend of ours who was helping to get Chromebooks for East Orange students. Believe it or not, in December, children did not have Chromebooks to go to school virtually. So she put out a charge to raise money. She did really, really well. But Asia is a comedian, and she also connects with 3 other comedians and a DJ, because we love some music between each act.
Okay.
And that's going to be my board challenge for 2021. They still want me to do the paint and sip because they love it so much. So I might do that in the fall. Nice. So Deidre, do you know how much the tickets are yet? Yes, I do, because it's my event. It's $35 per person. And we are also going to be looking for sponsors, business sponsor that might be able to be printed on our flyer. All the details will be housed at womenrising.org. They are an organization run out of Jersey City, but they support the entire state of New Jersey, particularly in the Hudson County area, helping women from really horrible situations of domestic violence get back on their feet, get jobs, get safe places to live, and safe for their families. And so I have been honored to be on the board. I'm honored to be their vice president. And so we are looking to get as much money as we can for them to continue their mission of helping women and families. Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
But in the feed, remember, I'm in jail. I can't do anything. Oh yeah. So the I know she did create the landing page for me, but the I don't think it's up in terms of people can't buy tickets yet. Okay. So next, trust me, I'll mention it up until the event if Eric will let me.
Yeah.
So it's but I know the landing page has been created on the Women Rights website because that's how she wants everything to go through there. But Asia hasn't gotten the flyer to me yet. When the flyer comes out, then I'll make sure I post it out for everybody to purchase tickets. I'm trying to sell as many tickets as possible. Or if you don't want to go, and I will stress that it's actually a family-friendly comedian, so no curse words. It's gonna be, you can have your high schoolers sit down with you and enjoy a fun show of 3 comedians and 3 really different comedians. I think you will enjoy. My husband and I sat up here. We actually plugged up our laptop to our TV. And we knew it was family friendly. We invited our son. He still thinks we suck, so he didn't come down. Even though he's got us working for him. But anyway, we sat there and she didn't have the food, but we just made our own food and drinks, and we laughed our butt off. And they did it through Zoom, so the comedians could actually see you. And he was still cracking on people in the audience, just like he would be in a comedy show.
Oh,
It was
nice.
a lot of fun. I think they found people are getting really creative on Zoom. Same way that I did my vision board party on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
where the women felt like we were all in the same room, and we weren't. We were all in our respective houses. So it's a really great way to connect each other through technology if it's done properly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's awesome. Anything that I can do to help, I'm willing to be helpful. So I'll try to identify some restaurants and some other things. Got a couple ideas for you. I'll
I
share.
appreciate you. I'll be in touch, Eric, once I get my voice, maybe
Mhm.
next week.
Okay. All right.
Well, thank you, Deidre Viney. And as always, please, if you go to Deidre, mention Eric and Diane Dawson, and every now and then Vincent Squire, because we like to keep track of the impact that we have and the effectiveness that we are in the communities.
And remember, guys, be smart. Right?
Yes.
There we go. All right. Go sip on your hot toddy.
I shall. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye. I think that's awesome. Yeah, I think it's. I have a cousin, and when she was pronouncing the comedian, I thought she was going to say my cousin. I have a cousin, Aisha, right? Who's a comedian. And she's been doing comedy for a long time. I mean, she's been on HBO. She's done the Apollo. She's done some, so she hangs out with what's the comedian's name, Blackston, and all of those guys. And she does a virtual comedy show, and she charges I think it's $5, and you have to get a login to get into the Zoom or whatever it is. But she's been doing it for a while and has been very, very successful with it. So, they can be successful. You just have to market them correctly, and yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, how much snow are you guys getting down there?
Not enough.
Not enough. Listen, I told you I was walking back from the poppy store, and this lady said, "Are you working?" So I said, "What?" So she said, "Shoveling snow." I was getting ready to get mad, Diane.
What would you do? Run?
No, but I'm like, do I look like?
Yep, because you're black and you're in the wrong neighborhood.
Do I look like I'm shoveling?
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. You fit the what do they say? The description.
The profile.
You fit it. That's you. I don't care if you get mad. It is what it is.
So
Eric, Black History Month.
Oh,
Since
God.
you were watching Roots, I'll give you something better to watch that will inspire if you haven't seen it already. Self-Made, inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker.
I saw it.
You saw it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was.
I enjoyed it very much.
So we talked about yesterday Wendy Williams. I hate to even say it again.
Diane, you asked me to watch it, and I told you I was going to. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
I know you couldn't.
Diane, I couldn't. I had it up on my I was gonna watch it on my phone, right? I put the headphones in, I plugged the headphones into the phone, and
But you don't have a TV in the house?
I do have a TV.
Why are you watching it on your phone?
Because if I had to move around, I was gonna multitask. That wasn't going. Wait. If you thought that I was gonna give that my undivided attention,
Oh, I was wrong.
you were wrong. No, see that's one of those things you multitask with, right? So, so I had on my phone. I was getting ready, and I said, I can't. I'm sorry.
I tell you, you are predictable. So, in the Life biopic, she talks about on Lifetime, one of the things that she dishes about her personal life is she had a one-night stand with Method Man. So, apparently...
The highlight of her life?
That's not what I said.
Okay.
So, she talked about this one-night stand, and now Tamika Smith, Method Man's wife, has come out and made a statement about, what she said.
So let me ask you a question. Was Method Man married at the time?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I don't think he was married at the time.
Okay.
But I don't know how long he's been married to this woman.
Got it.
I think they've been together a very long time. And I don't know if they were dating at the time and when he got married. I could check and see.
But see, here are part of my issues, right? What was the relevance of her mentioning that? What was the purpose?
She can talk about whatever she wants.
No, I'm not saying she. No, that wasn't my question. She certainly can talk about whatever she wants. But remember, I talked about her tearing down like what was left in the wake of Wendy Williams' storm, right? And so now here, Wendy Williams goes and she decides that she wants to unearth something that Method Man probably hadn't talked to, his wife about, right?
So,
and so to what end? To sell more views, more downloads, more books?
Whatever. She can. It's her life.
No.
She can talk about it whenever she wants.
I'm not suggesting she can't. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
So does that mean if I was raped 20 years ago, I can't talk about it today?
No, that's different.
No, it's not.
That's different.
It's an experience that happened to me, and I wanted to talk about it.
No, the difference is, Diane, you being raped, being violated, and God, I hope that never happens, you or any other woman, but you being violated, and so you're sharing that experience, right? And if by chance whoever the rapist was, is outed in some public way, it does, it's a public good, right? To do that. What is the public good in this?
So
don't get see. I'm gonna pull. You make me pull my 2x4 out and.
What's happened in her past, based on when you talked about the other.
Well, why can't she just say she had a one night? Well, no. So if it were about a one night stand, or was it about who the one night stand was with? See, so if
relevant, it's both relevant.
Really, but how many people broadcast their one night stands?
Right. My point is, what I'm getting to is Wendy Williams is an opportunist. Wendy Williams is an opportunist.
Okay.
Right? And she does it, and yeah, I'm being kind, right? But she's an opportunist, and I don't really think she cares, whose life or what lives she damages as she ascends to whatever heights she's trying to ascend to. But I don't look at those as heights. I look at them as like depths, I
think that we are all.
The wife says, obvious attempt to increase ratings for your sad biopic.
There you go.
A struggling TV show.
There you go.
A out career. Wendy has once again targeted my husband.
There you go.
It's a pattern that she has
there you go.
repeated for years, according to Smith.
Yep.
Williams also never offered an apology over violating her right of privacy over the aforementioned cancer diagnosis.
There you go.
So I think some time ago, his wife was some time ago diagnosed with, I believe, breast cancer. It was, and Wendy did talk about that on the radio show.
See, you know what? I'm gonna FedEx Method Man's wife a big container of Vaseline.
Oh God!
So she could pull her hair back, grease up her face, and go to work. Put that work in.
She goes on to say it was clear that she was sick, that she was struggling with a lot of issues, including self-hate and low self-esteem, Smith says, the wife. Over the years, those issues have made her increasingly ugly, both inside and out, and no amount of plastic surgery can fix the ugliness inside her.
Tell it. See, she encapsulated everything that I was just saying. And I'm not going to even step on it. Like I said, I am going to FedEx a large container of Vaseline, maybe some hair ties, pull her hair back, and a pair of Chuck Taylors. That's what she's going to need to put that work in. Because Wendy's a big woman.
And don't forget to download a Jill Scott.
Yeah, Wendy's a big woman. She gonna need to stick. Wait, how you say it, Vincent? She gonna need to stick and move.
She's not a big woman. She's just tall.
Nah, she a big woman.
No, she's tall, like Tutsi African tribe tall.
No, Wendy is Amazonian tall.
Her old Wendy's body was big, but she's not big.
Yeah, after the surgery. She kind of, got real thin so that she could look moderate on television. And,
You know, it wasn't television because she wasn't on television when she had the surgery, Vincent.
no, I mean, before, when she was radio, she was a nice size, a nice shape.
At the surgery, when she was on the radio, nobody saw her. It was many, many years before she was ever.
Wait a minute. When I saw Wendy,
Oh,
like,
no. I saw Wendy when Wendy was doing the night scenes, the clubs. She was out there. She just wasn't on television.
listen, on TV, on the commercials, because I don't watch the Wendy Williams show, but on the commercials, she looked big. I mean, is it just that TV? They say cameras add 10 pounds.
I
What?
have seen her in person. She is not.
Okay, so the camera added 10 pounds. No.
She and Diane's right about that because television does put 25 pounds on you.
Well, put 50 on her.
Well, she ain't that big. Trust.
Yo, you ever hear that song? I don't want to bump with no big fat woman.
Oh, Joe Tex.
I don't want to bump no more with no big fat woman.
I ain't gonna bump no more with no big fat woman.
That's it.
Y'all
That.
lucky that I'm in Facebook jail.
Yo, I'm telling you, that's what
pigs that you are.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's what Method Man. Listen. That is gonna be the training music that I'm gonna have for Method Man's wife. I don't wanna bump no more with no big fat woman. Uppercut, left hook. I don't wanna bump.
So on to the next biopic. So DJ Spinderella speaks out about his relationship with her and Salt and Pepper and being erased in the biopic that they did on Lifetime, saying that people's memories are being effed with.
Of course.
DJ Spinderella has always had that thing with Salt and Pepper because she provided the beats and they paid her for it. And they let her perform with them. But she was never really part of the Salt and Pepper franchise. She was the hired help, just like everybody hires musicians. And she's been very bitter about that. And, very outspoken. It's part of the deal. She should just accept it for what it is, and she should have moved on a long time ago.
Damn.
Actually, she should not. So what she
Damn.
said is that
Yo, Vincent, you cut deep.
My bad. I wasn't trying to cut up DJ Spinderella. I love her work.
I've definitely had depressions about it, bouts. I've had self-esteem issues. I've had confidence issues. It was trickling into my relationship, and thankfully, I have a great supporting partner, and he knew. It was just hard. It was a lot. Let me tell you what it does to you. It makes you feel less than a person. It makes you feel inferior. You have an inferior complex. You have confidence issues. You have low self-esteem. Never believing that I was good enough. Always having to prove and overprove, and never getting the acknowledgement. So yeah, these all are effects of that behavior.
But those are effects of that behavior. But none of that can be directly attributed to her relationship with Salt and Pepper.
That's your opinion.
No, well, let's look at it. She was
Basically, what happened was there was a contract disagreement, and that's what happened. And when the settlement was done, which they didn't talk about, the majority, what she says is there are things like Lifetime Achievement Awards that she should have been a part of that she did not receive, or they purposely excluded her out of events and showings.
That what I'm saying is that is very common with musicians, especially long-term musicians. You look at Van Halen, who did the recording for Michael Jackson's "Beat It." "Beat It" was a huge album. Van Halen did great, but Michael Jackson paid them for the performance, the creativity, and the original risk that they did. Yet, people hail the album, but nobody gives very much credit to Van Halen. And that is...
DJ Spinderella was a part of the Salt and Pepper, and you don't say Salt and Pepper without Spinderella.
No, you don't. You say Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, that's right, Diane. Diane.
Spinderella comes with it. You don't assume that somebody else, Spinderella is out there by itself. They are associated together.
Well, no. So I want to ask you this question. So So
And
two
Eric
Vincent.
B.
Wait,
brought him.
Diane. So
One
do
was in the back as a DJ, and one was in the front spitting the
no, no,
rhymes.
no. So to Vincent's point, right? When we talked about the Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, right?
There you
You
go.
you have both those names in there, even though he was a DJ and Will Smith was the rapper. You know, you had both names incorporated. It wasn't. It was Salt and Pepper. It wasn't Salt and Pepper and Spinderella.
Thank you.
It wasn't. It was Salt and Pepper. And
And
so
even though Spinderella made the beats, even though Spinderella did the timing and she performed, it was still always Salt and Pepper.
So the question becomes, I mean, you know, it's just structural stuff, right? So part of it is, I mean, her negotiation. Maybe she wanted them to be more benevolent than they were. But certainly it seems the structure of that deal, and you're talking about contract disputes, right? So the structure of the deal was that, you know, these two were the headliners, and she was, you know, I hate to say it, she was, you know, hired help. And ultimately that's because that's how she feels now, right? That she was just hired help, that she wasn't elevated to the spotlight. But I don't know that she ever was. I mean, so even when they were doing like, you know, and my
And believe me, legally, she tried multiple attempts to get more limelight, to be included in the mix. But each time it didn't go well for her.
you know, sometimes you just gotta work. You gotta put a better deal together. You know, you gotta have lawyers and you gotta put a better deal together. People do business, and you know, maybe she, you know, was looking for friends to do friendly business as opposed to shrewd business, and they just did business.
Mm-hmm.
You
No, I
know.
don't think they did business at all because basically it was Herbie Lovebug that put them together. So they weren't doing anything. He was the one that made them rappers because they weren't even doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So next,
I mean, but let me ask: is there anybody denying the brilliance of Spinderella?
No.
Right? You know, she just.
No one from Sandy's camp has ever denied it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, looks like the snow is tearing off my roof. Okay.
the Soul Cycle instructor got the vaccination.
The who?
Soul Cycle. You know, one of the instructors from Soul Cycle. You heard of Soul Cycle? Where
Yes.
people go and pedal and listen to music
Mm-hmm.
in a closed hot room in the dark with the lights blinking, and they pay $50-$60 a session for that.
Okay.
So she goes to get a vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
And she posted on her Instagram page, and people started to attack her, saying that, how did you cut the line? How did you get ahead of people? And her simple comment was, because I'm an educator and I was able to get it done. So how do you feel about people? And there really isn't a protocol on who gets what. The only thing people have heard is, we're going to help the people in the senior citizen home.
Well, no, there is a protocol.
First responders.
So, well, yeah. So
first.
you have teachers and first responders. Then you have people with.
Teachers are not listed. No, I don't think teachers are listed.
Yeah, they are. No, they are.
Teachers are now listed.
They are listed. Yeah, they are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have teachers, you have first responders, you have people with underlying. You have seniors, and you have people with underlying conditions, and then you have everybody else.
Yes. Here's another.
But you know what though? So here's my thing. I mean, this is her social media page, and people coming on.
So the scandal starts in New York City, and Mayor Bill de Blasio addressed Griffin's vaccine during a press conference over the weekend, saying she should not have been able to get it. Doesn't sound like someone who should have gotten vaccinated. I don't think there's someone who shows up and says, hey, I'm a soul cycle instructor, should have qualified unless there were more than other factors there.
So you know what though? Let me say this. Maybe. But shame on Bill de Blasio for trying to vaccine shame her. She's vaccinated. She's protecting other people now. Give her that credit. You see,
Should
but
her privilege and popularity allow
no,
her
it
to cut
shouldn't.
in
It,
front
no,
of
no,
the
I'm not
line?
saying I'm not suggesting it should. But listen, anytime politicians grab the microphone and chase after the cameras to shame somebody else, I'm saying how many rocks could be thrown at their homes?
Well, they did throw rocks at Bill. In fact, they found out in the Black and Hispanic communities where they have set aside X amount of vaccines. Guess who is in the bulk of the line? White affluent people.
Right.
Okay, so that Griffin seemingly attained her first dose of the Moderna vaccine so easily in the midst of the state's messy rollout and natural chaos points at how inequality underscores this pandemic and how being rich and well-connected can put you ahead of people who, by virtue of age, necessity, and vulnerability, have been deemed a priority by health officials. So the question about this, who deserves the vaccine, is a complicated one. Some experts agree that we should be vaccinating as many people as possible without so much concern about the order. But if there's no order, then it undermines the system, and it remains true that the vaccine is in demand and flanking her account. So my question to you is, are we now going to start vaccine shaming people that get the vaccine ahead of other people?
Well, look, what I said was this, real simple, right? Any black person that wants the vaccine should be able to walk in the front of the line of anybody who's not black.
So
Done.
So now,
Right now, beyond that, right? Let them figure that out. I don't even want to be involved in that. I'm simply saying anybody who's a bottom person should be able to get the vaccine. So if I'm driving my car and I decide, oh, I want to go get the vaccine now, and I pull up and there are 25 white people, 17 Asian people, some Latinx there, I should be able to walk right to the front of the line, right, and claim my right as part of my reparations to get the vaccine first. That's all I'm saying.
So you would rather have the vaccine than the
I said it's part of.
estimated 780.
No, I said as part of. See, reparations is more than just money.
it's not one thing.
Right, but it's more than just money. So right now, we need to be repaired quickly because we are suffering the most because of the underlying conditions that we have as a result, right, of environmental racism, right? So we should be moved to the front of the line very quickly.
And to that point, in terms of de Blasio and what he
Jody said,
actually
"Stop
dove
it,
into,
Jody. I'm not
one of the
joking.
big-
See, Joe, wait a
one of
minute.
the-
Wait, Jody thinks but I'm not joking. I really believe, given the disproportionate damage being done to the bottom community here, that we need to disproportionately be favored when it comes to getting this vaccine. I really mean that.
Okay, well, here is another point in terms of the disproportionate favor. Now, he set aside vaccines for the Black and Latinx communities, and the other reason there are a lot of white affluent people there is because they're on the list. Once it defrosts, they cannot refreeze it. So all the Black and Latinx that are scheduled, majority of them don't show up.
Okay, so here we go. Even though there are rules about who is able to get the vaccine, being affluent and well-connected may help someone jump in the line. And as eligible parties decline to partake and vaccines threaten to go bad in some locations, the larger conversation swirls around one question: who deserves to get the vaccine?
I'm telling you, bottom people. Call or go.
Okay, Eric. All right, I need to get a little more detail about that line you're about to jump, right? So, if the white woman has because you're Eric Dawson, all right? Someone who's dealt with cancer because I'm black.
So I'll explain that to you. So when we understand, like Vincent just said, because of all of the, so let's look at all the underlying conditions, including the trauma, which is is creating issues in the bottom community when it comes to people trusting the vaccine. So when Vincent said, and he's correct, a lot of them don't show up. So there's going to be room. Say, right, because of these underlying conditions, because of the trauma, they don't show up. I'm talking about bottom people, right? And so for the ones who do show up, yeah, because that white woman, she's still going to get the vaccine. But if you don't draw the line and say, hey, listen, we really understand the degree to which the bottom community is suffering across the board, psychologically, emotionally, physically, all of it. And we're going to just clear a path, right? They're going to, listen, that white woman, Jody, she's going to get the vaccine. I'm concerned about the bottom person who doesn't get it, who has to go back into a crowded neighborhood, into a household where you got 3 generations living, right? And they don't have access to health insurance. That's who I'm concerned about. And I'm not saying that I'm not concerned about that white woman, because listen, I'm not saying that, I don't want to get it twisted. I'm not saying that I'm not concerned about that white woman. I'm saying, but there are systems in place to take care of her where there are no systems to take care of these bottom people.
I hate to be even like the person that delivers this message, but to me, it's a message, right? There's white people in this country that's at the bottom. There's people of all races and ethnicities that are at the bottom, right? When we start saying things like, we should ditch the line with no more information, and we become them.
No, we don't, Jody. No, I disagree. But I disagree. But no, I disagree. I'm simply saying.
So Eric is saying that we need affirmative action. You're saying that we don't.
Right. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't give it to her.
That theory can't be just as, hey, I come to a place where they're giving out vaccines.
Because it makes us just as bad as the oppressors?
White or Asian, I should just jump the line. I am a healthy 52-year-old woman. Well, in a couple months, I'm a healthy 52-year-old woman with none. Like, I don't have hypertension. I don't have diabetes. I want the woman, no matter what her color is, that has something that it could kill her to go before me. And I think that when we get into the languaging of, like, we don't care.
No, I'm not saying no. See, I know. I never said I don't care. See, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't care. I'm saying I do care. But I'm saying there are safeguards to protect her. Where there are none to protect bottom people, right?
So you're saying that you do care, but you care about black people a little more.
I'm saying that no. Hear what I'm saying. I'm saying that I care. Right, the proportion to which I care has to do with the disproportion, right, that exists in terms of healthcare, in terms of survival rates, in terms of all of those things. So in order to try to level this thing out, right, I'm looking and going, you can't get here. You know what? I'm gonna give it to you like this. Right? See, you look and say that, well, that woman, right, she's got a more immediate need right now in this small window that you're looking at in terms of the line. And I'm saying, no, I don't believe so. I believe that that when you put it all together, it all has to be put together, right? That the greater need still exists with the bottom people. The greater need. And so when we look and go, well, no, but in this instance, while this person is in line, they have a greater, I'm going, no, not so. Not so. The greater need still exists. The condition facing the bottom people is an existential threat. It is also referred to as what they call it, a national security issue, like the the delicacy, right, of the bottom community, right, is literally, I mean, it's so fragile. It is a national emergency.
Okay, now here is, and I get your point, and I understand that, and I agree with it. Now, and obviously the governor agrees with it, which is why he set a portion, a large portion, for that delicate community. Yet they don't show.
No, that wouldn't. And then, so there's my point. But you're making my point. So Jody, understand what I'm saying? So even when they do that, because of the systemic racism, because of how beaten down the bottom community is, we still don't show up. So that white woman, she gonna get her shot.
There you go.
She gonna get her shot. I'm saying we gotta do everything we can to tell bottom people we care about you. We care about you. If you're gonna come, we're gonna put you in the front of the line and get the shot. Because the numbers, even with them providing that disproportionate number to bottom people, they still ain't showing up. So I'm going, yo, listen, whatever we gotta do.
So when they decide, or when they decide to show up, they should be put to the front of the line.
Yeah, because what I'm saying to you, Jody, is this. Listen to what I'm saying to you. So the reality is, and these are in the numbers that Vincent is looking at, even if we said, you know what, we got 100,000 shots, right? We're going to take 70,000 of those shots, and we're going to allocate 70% to the bottom community. What I'm saying to you is this, that probably less than 20% of the bottom community is going to show up for those 70% of the shots. And so those white folks who are sitting there that came for the 30%, they're going to be left over for them. That's what I'm saying. Those are the numbers right now. And those numbers are not going to change.
And that's exactly what's happening.
Right, and those numbers are they're not going to change like that. It's going to take generations for this to change, for the mindset to change in the bottom community. So right now, it is an existential threat. And so I'm willing to say to any bottom person, hey, listen, I'm going to fight to get you to the front of the line if you're willing to go. I'm sorry, it's that bad. We got to understand how bad it is. And then understand the ones who don't show up, they're like ticking time bombs heading back into the community, heading back into those crowded homes, infecting people.
I don't know. That just sounds weird to me.
No, I understand, but you know why it is. But it is the level of desperation that is required in order to save us. It is, I believe when I'm looking at it, it is what's required. I mean, look, we'll show up, unfortunately, right, for a bunch of things, but this thing that will save our lives, we're not showing up for. We're not showing up for.
I think that so for that reason, I think that there should be no jumping the line. I think that we can't expect for people or for the establishment to keep giving leeway to our detrimental behaviors to our community. I don't think that's justice. I think that that people who care about the virus and care about protecting themselves and their communities against this virus, who walk to the door and say, "Give me that vaccination. I want to protect my community, no matter what that community looks like," and they are willing to do the right thing by this country, because we still live in this country, and I still have to come across the white woman and the Asian woman and the Hispanic woman. I still have to come across those people in my life, then give them the vaccine. And to me, that is just right? We can't keep coddling people, bad behaviors, idiot behaviors because of the color of their skin. I think that is tinkering on the line of what we fight against every day.
But you know what though? But we're not. So here's what I'm saying. I'm not coddling to them because of the color of their skin. I'm coddling to them or coddling them because of their damaged. Because they're damaged, right? Because they've been abused, right? Because they're suffering, right? And and those who are suffering the most are bottom people, right? So it's not that I'm coddling because of the color of their skin. Look, I'm saying that we're all human, right? This is my evolution. We're all human, but there are some who are a part of this species who are in worse shape overall than others, right? And they are in worse shape because of how they've been treated because of their melanin, right? And so now we start to examine, right, the effects of the abusive treatment, right? And then the effects of it, right? And then the socially transmitted diseases that lead to the what you call poor behavior, right? And say, well, now how do we intervene? Well, we have to show compassion, I think. We have to show or continue to do what was done to the upper caste, which is say, hey, you're valued. Hey, you're worth something. Hey, you're not just a throwaway, which is what has for 400 years been the message to the bottom people, right? And so by doing this, by saying, no, you can go get the vaccine. You're worth it. Go do that. It starts hopefully to elevate them in their thinking about who they are and how important they are overall. See, when we say, you know what, and just for the purposes of this distinction, when we say, white people walk around as though they deserve stuff, right? That they're entitled to it, right? It's because the system has always said, yeah, you go get in the front of the line. Yep, you can go ahead and have that. Yep, you can go ahead and do that. And we have been relegated always to the back. And as a result, that poor behavior you see, that's how it manifests itself. So, no, I don't trust the thing. No, I don't do it. And I'm saying that we need to disproportionately shift the paradigm to be able to say to bottom people, no, you go get in the front of the line. And I'm gonna tell you this. Think about this. I don't care what line you do that in, most lines anyway. If you had white people and black people and you told them that, they'd be looking around like, is something wrong? Because we're so conditioned to believe, no, we don't belong there. See, you tell white people that, poof, they're gone. They're gone before you get the other syllable out your mouth because they believe they belong there because that's how they've been conditioned. We don't believe that we belong there. So somebody tell me, be like, something wrong. Somebody trying to set me up, trying to get me go to jail. I ain't going up there. See, we need to change that, and it needs to be radical. And so what I'm saying sounds radical, but it really isn't. And again, that white woman, she gonna get the shot because statistics say she is, because bottom people ain't gonna show up.
Wow. Okay.
So I love her too. I want her to get the shot. I'm just saying we got to be extra in terms of what we offer the bottom people in terms of getting this shot. We got to be extra. It can't just
the bottom people got to be extra in terms of getting those things that can save their lives and improve the quality of their lives.
Yeah.
Don't just sit up there and not show up when everybody's fighting for you to get it. Now you've made those people who advocated for you a liar. And if you think that once you do that they're going to go up and put their necks on a chopping block for you again, no.
But we better. But we better. We better, and we better keep doing it. We better keep doing it. Listen,
I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna set myself up to get my head cut off again for somebody who doesn't even care enough to show up for the test. I mean, for the vaccine. Come on. Just sit up here and go before all these white people and shame them about how black people have been treated and that they need something additional and some extra and some special so that we can make it convenient for them, easy for them, not pay for
right,
it.
but you can't
and
take
they
it.
don't show
But
up.
I'm saying again, you can't take it out of context, right? You know what? I'm gonna give it to you like this. Say you gotta. Say here's a perfect example. You want to raise money for centers for domestic violence, women who've been abused, right? So you raise all this money, you put this facility together, and you say no women are coming. Do you shame the women for not coming, or do you understand the trauma and that it may take time? Right? And so what I'm saying is you still build it because you understand the need. And you have the clarity to understand that. And the time in which they're able to get over their trauma, you can't put a time limit on that. They're gonna get over it when they get over it. But goddamn it, have the facility there when they're ready. Don't say, oh, we're gonna stop building these facilities for women because they don't come. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Oh no, what I'm saying is
I can't regulate when people can address their pain. I can't do that. Now, I'm not saying that you don't hold people accountable.
Addressing their pain is an orange compared to the apple of addressing the quality of their life or being able to live or being able to not get this virus. And there's a whole different thing. So if you set something up and you legislate, you talk, you maneuver, you play the politics to make it happen, it's a big slap in the face when they don't show up.
Yeah, I don't look at it like that. I'm sorry. I don't. I look and so what I do is I look at it and say, there's a reason why they didn't show up.
Okay.
There's a reason why they didn't show up. Right?
Yeah.
And that reason is
they're listening to the antiviral vaccine rhetoric, sponsored by, supported by, and paid for by QAnon.
Right, but no, that's okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is this.
So
But then also look at
stand in the way of their life.
no,
So
right. But you know what though? But
Vincent,
Vincent. But then also look at this, right? These are the same bottom people who come out of these failed educational institutions that we say are illiterate in a lot of cases, right? That they not intellectually curious, right? They're not necessarily taught to be, right? So I'm saying we got to keep going back. We got to keep going deeper. We can't just stop and say, well, this is, they're just following over here. They're just doing this. They're just getting this information. We have to understand their condition. We have to really understand the condition, and we got to push. I'm not shaming them. I am shaming the anti-vaxxers who know and who are intentionally creating this this situation in the bottom community. I am I'm putting them on blast. But for everybody else, I understand. Folks are just running. They're running scared. A lot of them. I got an uncle. I told you, I got an uncle who called me. He said, "Man, I'm not taking that vaccine." I said,
Okay.
Unc, why not? I said, why not? And so he starts, quoting all these different things, right? And then it took, I don't know, I've been talking to him on and off, not necessarily trying to persuade him, just trying to point him to information, right? So after maybe about a week and a half, right, he's going to go get the vaccine. Called me up. I left him space to heal from the trauma. He's 78 years old. The trauma of being here. I didn't beat him down. Say, oh man, you dumb for not going. I didn't do that.
No.
I recognize all the things that he's seen in his 78 years of being here. Right? How black people, bottom people are treated. All that stuff. That's all playing into his psyche when he's sitting here trying to make a decision. And yeah, I would want to be able to say to him, yo, you know what? And then when you now are brave enough to push past all of that, go to the front line, get your shot. See, so
All right, so the Lincoln Project is under
Ah!
attack for being.
wait, what's the guy's name? That pedophile. What is his name?
Okay.
It is
the
Schmidt. Schmidt.
co-founder of the Lincoln Project, or what do they call him? The anti-Trump Project.
Right.
Is under investigation.
What's his name? Put his name up there.
Is John Weaver.
Weaver. I'm sorry, Weaver. Right. You know what? See, here's the thing. And again, I'm not saying Trump. Everything that he threw at Trump. Yep. But that guy stalking 14-year-old boys. Like I said, this is one of those times where I'll go down to hell and I'll decorate a room for him. That's what he needs to be.
Well, but these are allegations. It hasn't actually, the evidence against him hasn't been pulled forward and everything. But it seems like a great deal of the Trumpeteers have been.
No, they got no. Well, they got text messages. They got text messages and stuff. They do. They talked about. They have text messages. Where he said that and what he said, understand what he said. He said it was consensual. So he's not denying the text messages and the offers for some political connections, right? If these other things occur, right? And look, for me, if it's and it has nothing to do with his sexual preference, right? And if it's a consenting adult, I don't care. Y'all go ahead and work that out. Hey, find love where you can. Some people never find it.
Boys are a whole different story.
14-year-old boys? Really? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. 14-year-old boys? Like Kevin Spacey, right?
Wasn't that found to be not true against Kevin Spacey?
I think some of them were found not to be true. Not all of them. Not all of them.
Because I thought that they exonerated him. But the same thing. I mean, it's. I think it got a great deal of press because of the Lincoln Project, and because of their anti-Trump rhetoric, and because of them publicly and gaining a lot. Also, they were a huge supporter of the Biden campaign. So when this broke out and it was negative against all that it stood for, the Trumpeteers, I mean, really went crazy over this. Now they've got ammunition to attack somebody who's been attacking Trump.
Well, but you know what? I mean, look, and like you said, they're allegations, right? So let me be correct and say allegedly. But if he did it, I mean, shouldn't they be attacking him? If he did it?
Well, let me make this perfectly clear to the listening audience. In my opinion, one of the worst and most heinous things that you can actually do in terms of societal norms is be a predator. And it doesn't matter the gender. Homosexual, heterosexuals, someone who is under the age of consent, yet you are manipulating their young, impressionable minds to do a heinous act in which they are not mature enough to handle. And yes, I believe that there is a special place in hell for you. And I'm hoping that Eric is right there decorating it. But
listen, I want to have my fire retardant gear on, though, because I'm not trying to get burned up. I hate it.
Yet I do understand some parts of exposure and how it changes justice.
Yeah.
And if justice is going for the wrong person, you can be villainized and railroaded and imprisoned. Yet, and I think that one thing before anything. Like I said, I really hate pedophiles, but I want to let me wait and see the outcome. Let's look at and review the solid facts involved with this. And, I like to say that, that they give him a fair trial and then they hang him.
So, yeah.
I can't. Too much. So,
What,
so
Diane?
question, how did all of this come out about this man?
Basically, it was
People do Oppo
inside,
research. Yeah.
inside information.
Yeah.
It was alleged that the trumpeter got a hold of the text and then threatened him with telling him that he needed to resign and shut down the Lincoln Project. He denied it, and they went public.
So he didn't deny that he had the text messages. Did he deny that they had physical contact with these kids?
That part I don't know. I truly don't know.
No, we'll keep our eye on it.
Do you think he's guilty?
Do I think he's guilty? Go ahead, Vincent.
No, go ahead.
You know what? I'm gonna.
No, you can't reserve to not have a comment now.
Do I think he's guilty? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I got one a little more entanglement for you. Let's see.
An entanglement? Are we at the red table? An entanglement?
These two people were at the red table. So.
Yo, she said an entanglement.
It has come to. I'm sorry, my phone keeps dropping my whole time. It has come to the attention of the public. Not the first time or the second time, but this has been rumors for many years that a particular rap couple, and I'm just going to say couple before I tell you who the people are, have been soliciting sex partners for third-party sex engagements or multi-party sex engagements with themselves.
Oh, swingers.
So many of the people that they have been targeting have been specifically from Vegas and Atlanta and LA strip clubs. Many, they say, have been underage, and the rules are that they are required to take Molly when they come to their residence, or whether they meet them at a hotel or if they're on a yacht.
Take Molly?
Yeah,
Molly.
the drug.
So it has also come to the attention. The reason why it came out so much now is because one of the people that they have not charged, but they have stated was recruiting these girls is now upset with the husband, because the husband and her had some type of argument, and he pulled a gun out on her. And he didn't pull a gun out on her recently. This is something that happened maybe 10, 15 years ago. But apparently, some of the girls who have been offended, who were teenagers at the time, are now coming out in droves and starting to tell this story over and over again. So the husband does an Instagram live a couple of days ago and states that he doesn't even reference anything about the gun, but he talks about how, people shouldn't be in my bedroom. It's none of their business what I do and what we do in our household, and going on this whole rant. The same husband has been in the headlines a lot of times behind drugs, behind guns, behind sexcapades. The wife, and she does a Instagram post. She doesn't do a live, but she does a post and says, if this woman who claims my husband put a gun to her head, how could this be true? How would you trust him to be the uncle to your kids and send your kids over here for us to babysit and hang out with our sons and our kids, and for my husband to mentor your sons? A fourth party, because these are reality show people, but they're entertainers. They're in the entertainment industry. The fourth person, who is very best friends to the wife, does a live and says, How dare you say such a thing? If you're going to say that, then you need to tell about how you were recruiting people. So she's basically indicted or indicated that what was happening is actually true.
So she outed her for outing them.
She tried to, but it kind of backfired. And then the wife went back to the girlfriend and was like, take it down. But by then it was too late because it was already hit the blogs and newspapers and everything. So what they're trying to say is this particular couple, the reason why it's been able to go on for so long in these escapades that they've been doing, these drug-induced escapades with underage women, is because everybody that's in that circle has been participating from the entertainment world, i.e. the same and similar to R. Kelly. So when you talk about this guy and Trump and what he was doing, you have to start to wonder, the people that are telling what's happening and what they've found, but sometimes the same people that are in these circles, and the same one that was in the circle, what was the last guy, not Weinstein, what was his name that they so-called killed himself in prison? That was...
When that Epstein? Was it Epstein?
Epstein.
Right?
Yeah, Epstein. They're all in the same circles. All of them. So do you think this man and his wife are guilty?
Well, you know, Munira says 15 women not fabricating. So,
15 women? No, it's up to 30 now.
oh, is it up to 30?
That's what I'm talking about. It's up to 30 women.
Yeah. So, you know.
So this is R. Kelly meets Me Too.
Why do you don't know what? You don't know, you don't think they're guilty or what?
Do I think that they...
I think that it's hard to dispute 15 women because that's a conspiracy on a massive level.
Right.
You know, 2 or 3, yeah, there could be a conspiracy, but 15, yeah. But also, one of the important things that Diane mentioned is that they're all in the same circles.
Right.
Well, the 15 women aren't. So it's not 15. I'm sorry. It's 30 women now, Manira. And I'm not covering up. I just didn't want to tell them it was T.I. and Tiny because I wanted to tell the story without telling who it was first before I revealed who it was. There are 30 women, and the reason why I stated earlier is because they were women they were picking up from the clubs in L.A., in Atlanta, in Vegas. So these are women who didn't interact with each other, but were coming out and telling the same stories.
Right. Yeah. Look, where there's smoke, there's fire. Fire. Hey, there's gonna be a big room I'm gonna be decorating. It'll be a huge space.
They get decorations?
In hell, of course. They're gonna be there for a while.
But see, this stuff that is happening is only coming out because now we have social media and people who are now more willing to talk about it. But more so, it really didn't come out until this girl who they claim was their recruiter got upset with him and he pulled the gun on her. But the gun, like I said, that incident happened like 10, 15 years ago. Right. And all of a sudden, so she's more behind, her reasoning is more behind, she's jealous that I told you the wife had a friend. So the friend was on a reality show with her. Her best friend was also her hairstylist. So her friend was able to, come up and make money and do stuff. And this particular girl who had the gun pulled on her is upset that she didn't get a part of the same deal. She was never able to come up. She's been struggling, she has a criminal past, all kinds of other things that have been going on with her that she hasn't been able to get to that point. So I think sometimes even jealousy or being a part of, people like to be a part of or included in the reason why they don't tell when something is wrong. So when you were talking about the vaccines and stuff like that and why people don't do stuff is because they don't want to. They just don't have the common sense that God has given them to do the right thing. Yeah. And I was going to ask you, why are you going to out all of the non-vaxxers for believing in what they believe in? Because it's not what you agree to.
Wait a minute. Why am I not gonna?
Harmful or not?
Why am I not gonna out the non-vaxxers?
I said, why are you outing the non-vaxxers.
No. And I'm outing the anti-vaxxers.
Anti-vaxxers,
Right,
that's what I'm
meaning
saying.
those who know better.
Well, how do you know they know better? How do you know they don't believe what they believe?
Because I know.
Yeah,
Like,
people believe what they believe for why they believe it.
No,
Have you ever looked at that show Shameless?
yeah, but some of the anti-vaxxers I know that they don't
Well,
really believe
okay,
it.
well, you know
But
from
anyway,
us.
we're gonna stay away from that for now. Look,
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question because we're like at 15 minutes, 14 minutes left. So, what do you think? And I posted on my page. That really is not my chair in front of the house that I took the picture in. We have a driveway, and so fortunately we can park our car in the driveway after I shovel it. But for those people, Diane, who shovel,
Eric, I'm sorry, I was on mute, so I couldn't comment. And if I could answer or make a quote to Diane's statement of why do you think that they know? Martin Luther King said, and this is the reason why I'm muting. Big snow shovels are running through my neighborhood.
Okay.
Martin Luther King said, nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. These anti-vaxxers are working on conscientious stupidity and sincere ignorance. Yet they're praying. That's what they're focusing on. People who just don't want to believe that the vaccine is real, and they're using things to fuel their wanting it not to believe by false information. That's why I believe they should be outed.
Somebody asked in a feed what happened to the black book of politicians, rich people, entertainers, and the world's leaders that were going to be exposed. How quick did they bury that story? Of course, they and you don't hear anything also about his madam, his friend who was doing the recruiting.
Yeah.
You mean his pimp?
Yeah.
Call or whatever. Yeah, that she was arrested, and you haven't heard much about that either because she is the living black book. That was, besides the people who were actually there at the different events and stuff like that. But basically what happened was they probably fell under the same curse that everybody else falls under, the curse of the Clinton curse. They were offed. They killed them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, the story died with Epstein. And I think she's under a state of fear. Look, I start talking, I may die too.
Well, eventually she's going to disappear at some point because there is no reason to leave anybody with information behind as such as that she would have because she had all the inside information next to Epstein. Everybody else was just amongst, and they could only talk about the events that they were at and who was there and what was going on. They can't tell about everybody. She knows every detail. She knows what all the skeletons are. But yeah.
As they say in the hood, she got the receipts.
So what was your question, Eric, about you in holding in the snow in the street?
Yeah. Does it just happen in the hood?
I'm going to drive by with a bat and knock your chair out the way. Keep it up.
Does that just happen in the hood where you shovel your space out and then
It happens with people with hood mentality. Yes, it does. Because if you had common sense and you had a driveway, you would park in your driveway.
But what if you don't have a? So wait a minute. No. So my brother lives in Wait a minute. Wait.
You park in a public lot.
Wait a minute. But you have. Well, wait a minute. So you got folks who live in Harlem now, right? Some of the rents are upwards of $4,000 a month, right? And they park on the street.
I don't know what their rules are in New York when it comes to street cleaning.
No. But I'm saying when they shovel, I'm gonna call my brother and ask him. When you shovel out your spot, do you get to like put a cone or a sofa or some piece of furniture there to hold it? I mean, should you be able to hold your spot? If you dug out 20 inches of snow and you had to go around the corner to the store and then you came back, should you expect that spot be back there for you?
And Philadelphia, there have been shootings because of that.
Well, they tell you all the time that street parking does not belong to you. It is not your space. It is public space. So it is open for whoever gets there.
Well, if I publicly moved 3 feet of snow so that I can maneuver and get back and forth, then I am publicly going to guard my works.
Well, the snow does not belong to you either. It belongs to the earth. And if you feel that way about it, then we could pack it up and bring it in the house to you so you can monitor your snow. But that is not the neighborly thing to do. And people who do that, those are the people that should be shunned.
Now, I'll tell you.
The neighborly thing to do is to not take your neighbor's parking space after he dug it out.
It's not his parking space.
Okay.
It's public. And
yeah.
They tell you that when it's regular to stop ignorant people from doing stuff like that.
Listen, I'm going to tell you.
When you park in a public lot or a school lot, if you don't have that available, then the neighborly thing to do with somebody who does have a driveway, say, can I park in your driveway so they can clean the streets? Because if they can clean the street, then now everybody has parking.
Oh, yes. Now, if they clean the street and everybody has parking, that's fine. But there is a level of social politeness that says that, okay, this guy did exert a great deal of effort to make this happen, and he should be able to enjoy the fruits of his labor. No, I'm not going to sit up there and go through reality. Well, yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Diane, I'm going to tell you, thank goodness then that I don't have to park on the street. Because if I did, and I dug my car out, and somebody parked after, like in my spot, after I dug my car out, Diane, like literally, it'd probably be a fight. Now,
and it's not worth it. Is it all of that really worth it?
Yeah, and I can just see the mayor of Newark posting Eric Dawson's arrest and fight and blog all over everything, because of a parking space.
Yeah.
Every action has a reaction.
No, but I just think that, I think some things are just, just beyond being disrespectful. Now, I think that... so for instance, there's a car parked in front of my house right now. The snow literally is up to the window, right? Because of all the plows coming down the street and, plowing the car in more, right? Mm-hmm. So when that person comes out and shovels, all right, I just don't think that, for instance, somebody who's pulled into their narrow driveway, right, should be able to pull their car out of their narrow driveway and park it in that parking spot. I mean, they can. Can they do it? Yes. Is it legal for them to do it? Yes. I'm not saying that it's not legal. I'm just saying you cross a social, just a neighborly thing.
That's why we don't have communities, because people think like that. Mine. I'm gonna dig it out. It's my spot. It's not your spot. It's open parking. If it was your spot, it would be called permit parking.
Diane, are you stating, and I just want clarity on this question, that you and your husband get up early in the morning, shovel your driveway, your parking space, and as soon as you pull out, someone pulls in, and you would not be upset?
I have a driveway, and I park in the driveway, and I bought a house specifically so I could park in the driveway, not to park on the street.
No, but I'm saying everybody doesn't have a driveway.
What you're saying is that cleared space, leading to your driveway is public domain, yet he pulled in front of it.
First of all, you can't block somebody's driveway and park in front of my driveway and block it. That's illegal. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. When people park, they park. It's open parking.
But
I'm not parking you over a parking space. That's stupid. I have more intelligence and time in my day than caring about a parking space.
But in terms of
that's the problem.
In terms of societal norms, those without parking space who park regularly in front of their house, get out and shovel it. clear it to give themselves access in and out in front of their house.
Wait a minute.
Jumps in it.
Wait a minute. Listen, I think this is awesome. So, Michelangelo Bosch, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly. He says in a thread, I knew this construction worker who made a fake floor platform with a sheet of wood where he plastered and glued rocks to it, then placed a barricade with yellow blinking lights and two orange cones with a sign saying under construction. And every time he would move his truck, he would place it in his spot. And when he came back home, he would place it back in his truck.
No.
That's too much time. On top of, if it's a commercial truck, it can't stay on the parking or stay parked on the public street overnight anyway on private streets. So depending on the town, that's just because the neighbors didn't know the laws and had that shit told and moved. But, you know, people do ignorant things. That's ignorant mentality.
I do agree, Diane. That is too much work.
That's ignorant mentality to do something like that.
Yeah,
well, it's better than putting it.
Is it not just as ignorant to be an opportunist on someone else's labor?
Well, listen, it's better than putting his.
Out the year that it snows and you get snowed in on your street and you live 365 days next to your neighbor. Is it really worth it?
Listen, it's better than putting a dining room table out in the parking lot, in the parking space, though. And I've seen that. I've seen tables. I've seen chairs. I've seen, all kinds of furniture, bookcases, anything people can get to put out there. So
lawn furniture.
Look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. And then, some people are just as bold to remove that furniture that you put out there.
Yeah, just put
those barriers that you put out there.
Put it right on the sidewalk. Now, let me ask you this question, Vincent.
Their need to park is greater than yours.
So, Vincent, since you and I agreed to this, we agree on this. Diane doesn't.
No,
how many days after the snow is it okay with you to respect somebody's work in their parking space?
I agree. And I don't know the actual days. I think where in my neighborhood where I grew up in Philadelphia, it was just the norm. You just don't do that.
No, but I'm saying like a week after the snow.
Is cleared, it's fair game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like after like 2 days, right? It should just be fair game, right? Like the day of the snowstorm, maybe the next day because you still got plows coming down the street, right? But the third day, I don't think that you can just put a cone there just because you want the convenience of being able to park close to your house.
Well, it's a good reason why you go in some neighborhoods and their streets are plowed clean, and others they stay snowed in for days. So it's the mentality of the people. What can I say? All
right. Well, listen, we're at 12 o'clock. I'm going to go check and see if there are any fights going on. See if anybody fight. And if they are, I'm telling you, I'm going to turn my Facebook Live on. I'm going to do that. Entertain people. Oh, you won't be able to see it, though, Diane. You're still in Facebook jail.
I can't see it. Shut up. I can't admit.
That's all right. I'll send it to you via text message. Listen, guys, stay safe. Vincent, how'd you work out? How'd your work go with the snow blowing for your church seniors yesterday?
Let's see. There were 12 houses, and now those 12 are calling back because of the accumulation through the night, and another 9 that I have to get to right after the show.
There we go.
In fact, I've gotten 14 phone calls.
All right. Well, listen, stay safe, man. Don't hurt yourself too much doing it. I'm sure they appreciate it. Guys.
I'm sure that they do.
Stay safe. It's still cold outside. If you go outside, make sure that you keep your hands and your feet warm. No frostbite, all that kind of stuff. And tomorrow I'm off. We'll be off tomorrow. Yes, I'm off tomorrow. But we will see you on Thursday.
And Thursday's show on What You Gotta Say. We're going to deal with medicine and race, why blacks are prone to die, especially black women after childbirth, the why they get poor medical services in their communities, and even blacks with great health insurance still experience the same things. We'll be talking with a black doctor, a black anesthesiologist, and a member from the Black Nurses Association.
Excellent. And listen, guys, make sure you read the book. On February 11th, we will be reviewing it. Caste, The Origins of Our Discontent. Author Isabel Wilkerson.
And get more insight of why Eric says bottom.
See why I say bottom, people.